We're going straight to YouTube or Patreon first?
We're on YouTube.
Yep.
We're live.
How's it going, YouTube?
Let's see if anyone's here. If you're here, let us know.
We got coffee. We're ready to go.
Still hoping for that Tim sponsorship.
Yeah, it's not gonna work. So we did a little collab with Piston Head Productions, who built a Cummins Miata.
Oh yeah, that was really cool.
Really cool car. They went to Tim Hortons for sponsorship. They gave him a $200 gift card. It's all they could squeeze out of him.
Wow.
Yep. So that's not gonna happen.
Out of who?
Out of Tim Hortons. I don't think we're gonna get Timmy's.
I'd still be okay with a $200 gift card though.
Yeah.
Hey guys, I see two people here.
So.
Alright, first thing we want to talk about is Patreon. Patreon's the reason why this is happening. Check out patreon.com/DEBOSS. I'll throw a link on at the bottom after this is over. We're getting really close to starting to do giveaways, and what that means is we're kind of throwing this out there. We would like to know what you guys think. With the money that we're making on Patreon, we can either put that towards the Audi build and just, do above and beyond, get some extra things done on it,
Yep.
make it awesome, or do a giveaway. If you guys are following us, we just crossed over 50,000 subscribers on YouTube over the weekend, so we want to celebrate. I think we're going to do a giveaway, but we'd like to know what you guys think we should do with the Patreon money.
If
Yeah.
you guys hear the cars where it's really hot outside, and so we've got the windows open with a cross draft going, if the cars get really annoying, just let us know and we'll close the window a little bit. But anyway. So yeah, I vote Audi because then I get the prize, right? Because the prize is Audi car parts. But we're up for giveaways. We said we would do a giveaway,
Yeah.
so we're going to do a giveaway. We were hoping Patreon would help kind of support the channel so we could do some cool stuff, but it is kind of taking off. So we have we get reached out by sponsors all the time. Most of it is just reviewing, here, have this, and say something good about it, make a video about it, and that's fine. But one of the latest sponsors is VNR Recycling, and they're actually a scrapyard. Where Tuesley is an auto wreckers, VNR is a scrap metal recycling place. And they sponsored the Audi for a little bit, and you'll see their name on the car. And what's really cool about them is we basically get to have neat stuff out of the yard as well. So if they have something good come in, we'll see if it's worth fixing. Some people just, you know what, that's too much of a headache. I'm going to bring my vehicle there because my mechanic told me it was going to cost $3,000 to fix. If we're able to fix it for a little bit less, or if we see more value in the car after the $3,000, maybe some people just use it as an excuse to get a new car. That's fine. Don't want to deal with Kijiji or Craigslist. So hopefully we'll get some cool stuff. I found an F-150. We fixed that all up and got some videos going on that.
I'd like to see some stuff get destroyed too.
And we get to destroy some stuff. So tomorrow, we actually get to go run some heavy equipment and rip some cars apart after hours. So, I have never, every week I'm like, this video is going to be awesome. And
Move closer.
sorry. Yeah. So every week or something cool happens, I'm like, this is going to be an awesome video. But tomorrow I'm already picturing running an 825 Centenbogen crane with a grapple on it and just ripping a car apart and then doing a review on the crane at the same time. So should be fun.
It's gonna be fun.
It's gonna be a lot of fun.
So much fun.
And selling it.
And then we're gonna sell that Centenbogen. So we'll crush some cars, we'll have some fun with it, we'll review it, and then we'll sell it. So if you are in the market for an 835 Centenbogen, it has a 55-foot reach and a 4.5 ton lifting capacity at 55-foot reach. I'm pretty sure solid rubber tires and outriggers, driving machine, the cab lifts for the low price of $180,000. Hit me up.
It's a mortgage.
180 is not a mortgage. That's a cardboard box in an alley somewhere with really high rent in Toronto.
I didn't say a Toronto mortgage,
Doesn't you don't get a whole lot for 180,000. But
Yeah. Speaking of selling things, I'm gonna hop us over to the Facebook page. I want to let you guys know, if you haven't joined our Facebook group, you can find it through the Facebook page, just DEBOSS on Facebook. Just find our group there. We got quite a few things for sale here, so if you're looking for
1950 Packard
yeah,
or a Lincoln something with a dead Matthew McConaughey in the trunk, or a 1993 Chevy Silverado, then go to the Boss Garage.
2000 Dakota RT. You've done that
Yeah.
before.
Yeah.
$5,000.
Oh, Smithville. It's not even that far away. Let's just sell that to Rick. Ooh. What's the
52
I was
Chevy.
looking for something.
yeah, 10,000. That's outside my budget. Hey, lots of cool stuff on there.
Lots of cool stuff.
Yeah,
Check out the Facebook group. And also check out Drive Tribe. We'll check back here in a second. We got 4 cards we're going to look at right now. If you've got a ride that you're working on, throw it up there and we'll take a look at it. For now, let's just keep going here. We got some questions. We got people commenting right now. So
Yeah.
we'll get to
Can
that.
I just talk about 98 neon on 26-inch rims, and I'm proud of it.
That is awesome.
Good for you. I mean, there's always a question about why, and because you can.
Because you can.
And
yeah.
that's awesome. That is really cool.
Right on.
I'd like to see a picture of that on the Drive Tribe.
Can you try and put that on Drive Tribe before
Definitely
we're gone?
want to see that
Yes,
on the Drive
yeah.
Tribe.
Even if you have to go outside and take pictures with your phone and then put it on Drive Tribe before the... you got about an hour. So.
That's an again attention getter.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got some time.
We will use that as the thumbnail for this this Drive Tribe.
Oh no, thumbnails already used. These ones are in the running for next month.
Oh, okay. Next month.
I'm just doing
Okay,
it that
okay.
way.
All right.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
stuff
No,
to
that's
keep-
perfect. That's perfect. Right on.
Yeah. Yeah, if you
So-
throw your ride on Drive Tribe, I'll use one. I'll pick one of them as a thumbnail for the next time we do this. So kind of cool. Can the 4L60 handle the torque from a 4BT in my 99?
Yes, but you can't pull a 1-ton Dodge dually dump truck with a Cummins in it on a 1,800-pound trailer. That will wreck the tranny.
You sound like that's from personal
Go
experience.
easy with those.
and the tail was really wagging the dog on that one. But if you put a bigger cooler on it, and as long as you don't mash it, it will handle it fine. But is it the 99 Tahoe? It's not an XL. With the 406, I would imagine it's just a short one. So yeah, I've had good luck. But if it will last as long as you don't beat on it. Plain and simple.
Yeah.
Can you do more tractor repair videos? Basically, again, it's just whatever comes in the shop. Sorry, guys, we do have a little Ford diesel coming in with a loader. It's just a small guy. We're gonna do a clutch on that one. Yeah. Cummins Commander. What do you think?
I'd love to see it get finished sooner than later, but it's at the last of the list for
It's at the last of the list, but I am slowly collecting parts. So
Yeah.
Tuesday's got the interior for me.
Does he?
Yeah,
Right
it's
on.
out of a Envoy.
Yeah.
And it's a nice two-tone tan leather. It's beautiful. Like, I saw it. I'm like, I'm taking that. That's awesome. So we'll send Joel out there to grab that interior. And then I got a tranny for it, I think. That's on the fence, working on it. Got the engine figured out. So slowly, like, once we have all those parts and it slows down after the race,
It's
then
kind of been a tease, though, because every
Yeah.
month you come talk to me and say this guy's really interested. He wants a Cummins Commander. He's going to build it, and then I never hear anything about it. And then
so a couple.
next month, another guy really wants it, wants to build it, wants to drive across America, and
But it gets people in the shop talking, right? So
yeah, definitely.
yeah.
It'd be real cool. I would love to see it as bare steel, just clear coated bare steel.
Yeah. With the money, go half and half. That buys really shitty car parts and really shitty prizes.
We'll be playing with close to $200. That's what we're close to $200 on Patreon right now, and you know, if you guys want to help us do that,
I like the idea, but then it'd be 1 month.
yeah.
Audi. So I think right now, because we were collecting parts for the Audi, we can do the giveaway as soon as we have what we need. So I'm sure we'll get back to the Audi later, but yeah, the junkyard video honestly was our favorite video by far.
It was a blast. And I know people are big fans of Stefan, but never get on a racetrack with that guy. As soon as he got behind the wheel, the look in his eyes was just a pure determination.
Murder. He's got murder in his eyes.
I knew he was going to roll someone. I knew. The look on his face when he ran at that corner and hit that young kid from the inside corner, I knew. There was bloodlust in his eyes. So, great guy. Really nice guy. Just never get on a racetrack with him.
Not in a super.
My neck was sore for almost a week, and he said he was pretty sore too, because I don't know if it's in the clip or not, but he all out just full on rear-ended me in the Civic because it was like bucking and stalling. And it's just the weight of the helmet, right? And we should have, next time we'll know to get neck stuff too, but the weight of the helmet, you just your head cracks back and then goes forward. And I was fine. I went to work and everything, but I could definitely feel it, yeah. So.
It was so much fun, though. I'd love to be able to do that again.
Yeah. Oh, and again, maybe in a year or so, but right now, yeah.
Well, you don't want to do it every weekend, otherwise it's
no.
not as thrilling or as fun as there's always other stuff to do.
Yeah, there's always something else.
Yeah, it was like driving a Nissan pickup on 2 wheels.
Yeah, it's coming up. So we were going to drive that Nissan at Cuga Motorsports Park. But when we took the Audi there, that was our first time actually going to the track and them allowing us to use the track. So we thought it would be pretty irresponsible if we built a ramp to try to drive a truck on 2 wheels in case something happened. That kind of screw up that sponsorship. So
yeah, and the people coming in right after us were racing Ferraris and Porsches.
Right,
and
right.
So it's kind of good that we broke down on the way to
right.
the track.
So that car did actually bounce off the tow truck and kind of landed in the ditch. So the Tuesday was a little late because he had to grab it out of the ditch again. That could have been pretty bad. And you never get the good parts on video because I should have had the camera on that. But
yeah.
But anyway, we found another big long pavement which we will be taking the Audi to, and then we'll be taking the Nissan there too.
Right.
So funny story with the Nissan is we did put some dirt in the back. So I put a couple sandbags in there just because I figured lower center of gravity if we put it all on one side, get it up on the wheels. Sorry guys. And if you watch the Audi, not the Audi, the Arabians, they do it with a Chevy pickup, and if you look, they have the whole one side of the truck is all sandbags. So we have the neighbor's dog comes over, and it's this little yappy. It looks like a miniature Doberman Pinscher, and it's really scary because I'm not scared of the dog, but I'm scared for my girls. The dog thinks it owns the place and is really aggressive. So he was over, so I figure, well, I'll chase him with the truck just to at least let him know that he's not welcome here. So we're driving on the front lawn and going way too fast again as normal. I hit the brakes, and because the back brakes are pinched off, it's only the front brakes, and I might as well have not been pushing the brakes because the weight of the sand, I just kept sliding. And I was about to slide right over the ditch onto the road, so I had to hit the tree. So I had to let go of the brakes and turn into the tree and crumpled the whole right front fender. It was beautiful. It still runs great. But it's slow. It's very slowly getting. Yeah, it's slowly getting beat up pretty good. But again, not on camera. So yes, the first gen. It's probably interior, and then he will get around to rebuilding that. And because of the smoking thing, I'm sure he's got some stuck rings in there. Fortunately, it wasn't in the budget when we first started building it, because then it would have been the time. But I'm sure it will at some point. But like anything, it's the money. So
I see that truck everywhere now.
Yeah. No, interior first. I don't know if he's clear coating it or not, but definitely this is his dream truck, and a lot of us, we do have our dream cars, and then they kind of fall on the wayside. But he loves that truck so much that I can't see him getting rid of it.
No. I've seen him all over town, and people are always talking to him about the truck, and just because of that, it's unique.
Right.
Gets a lot of attention.
Right.
What's your dream car?
My dream car. Right now, all I'm focused on is the Audi, and that once you reached that, then really, what else is there?
Yeah, what's better than an Audi?
Yeah.
Quattro?
We when we went to Pennzoil, our host worked for. He's involved with Pennzoil. He's got Pennzoil shirts on. Anyway, his wife or girlfriend, I'm not 100% sure, was the vice president of the Ferrari Club of North America. And so the whole time I was teasing her, and I'm like, once you have an Audi with the engine that we're putting in it, with the all-wheel drive and whatever, really, you've reached the pinnacle of automotive engineering. Like, really, can you think of a better car than what we're building? Shut up, Rich. Shut up. So, right now, like, that's too far away. Yeah, it's just the GTO and the Audi.
Speaking of Audi, has anyone? I want to know if you've ever heard of a BBC show called Life on Mars. And then there's a spin-off series called Ashes to Ashes. I want to know if anybody's watched these shows.
Or For the Love of Cars, which is
For the Love of Cars.
Yeah, which is like the British version of Fast and Loud, but a lot more realistic and like they.
Do they build cars on
that
show?
Yeah, 100%. He's very talented, and the other mechanic, the head mechanic, took over for.
Yes.
Yeah, Ed China on Wheelers and Dealers. Yep. So.
Yeah, put Patreon money to the Audi.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. We were 10 minutes early. So just enough time to run into Timmy's, and there is no beer in the cups, but I did think about that.
I have beer downstairs.
We should grab a beer. I think that should be it. Timmy's in the first half hour, beer in the second half hour. Yeah, why not?
We'll get beer half.
Good.
Second half. Would you guys ever buy cars, fix them, and sell them? So this is what we're gonna do with the
the Audi will be for sale for $250,000 when we're done.
Heavy equipment.
Yeah.
That's what I was gonna say, but
yeah.
I don't know if you can't really say we're buying it, but we will be fixing it, flipping it. We'll show you how to flip heavy equipment. We think that's better.
For cars too, you've had this debate over and over. Is there money in buying, fixing, and flipping cars? And
okay, so I made that video, and I should clarify that I'm a stickler for doing it right. That's why the GTO is taking a long time, but there's not a stitch of Bondo or fiberglass in that car. Every piece that was rotten is cut out and welded back in again. And that takes a lot of time, but doesn't get appreciated as much. But when you do it that way, when it's all painted, all of that gets covered up.
Yeah.
So you could fix a car for a lot less money, but it won't last near as long. So you're gonna put fiberglass over some holes, and it will look good, and it'll probably look good for a decent amount of time. It's just I don't take pride in that, and in doing that, there's no money in it because it takes too long. It takes up shop space. Takes up you start losing track of how much time you actually have in the cars. And if there was money in fixing up old cars, then every body shop would just do that. But that's not the case. They make a lot more money just getting customers to pay for whatever they want done, whether it's...
And I see shows like Gas Monkey, and they're talking about buying these cars and flipping them and sending them down the way and making huge profit. But the very next episode, that car is in the background, still sitting there. The next season, the car from the first season is sitting in the background because it's just all fake and none of it's real.
Right. You know? They make their money in the $1 million that they collect in those commercials in between the show, and that we've talked about that before. But as for fixing up cars, I do believe that there's more money in heavy equipment. We're gonna dabble in that a little bit and then see if that's true or not. So but then it's one of those things, I'm not gonna say how much I bought it for and how much I sold it for, just whether we made money or not, because
and
it's
it
one
could
of
be
those things.
$1 million, it could be $1.
Yeah, exactly. So anyway,
love your videos. Thank you.
Thanks, Mike.
Do you know what two-size turbos would be a good compound turbo setup for a street application? He should, and then I saw this he's talking about a 12 valve.
Okay, that's funny.
Psych.
So should we say?
Do you guys want to know?
Yeah. Anyway,
what's hold on. Do you guys want to know what we're doing with the Audi? We can tell you right now because there's only 50 of you.
Yeah, there's only 50 of you. So You want to talk about the McLaren?
Maybe they don't want to ruin the surprise.
No. It's 50.
I don't know.
Find
We're
out on
talking,
Sunday.
people are
we're talking
watching.
about Audis
Sunday's
and
video.
McLaren and
Yeah.
everything
It's
now.
Sunday.
Yeah. So, if you guys remember the motorhome that we did the timing cover on, which I have to do again because it's leaking, the weld did not hold up, so I have to do that job again, which sucks. The only reason we welded it is because we got the wrong timing cover, and he wanted to take it on vacation. But anyway, it didn't hold. It's leaking. His brother is into flipping McLarens, so he's bought a few smucked up McLarens and fixed a couple of them up now, and is making good money at that. So the brother was nice enough to say, hey, he bought one that is a write-off, and you should put the McLaren 650S engine into your Audi.
Pause for effect. McLaren motor in a 90s Audi.
Yeah, so, and I said in the video, there's probably about a 15% chance that actually happened. So we met with the brother, we went down there, took a bunch of the kids from the kids program with Rick. Rick wasn't able to make it, we took a couple kids, and chatted with him, and he said, no.
What's the retail on each of those motors?
Well, I don't know. It's because they're so new. There really isn't a set price for the engine. If you called McLaren and said how much an engine's worth, I would easily say they would want 150, 200 grand for the engine.
Yeah, they're $450,000 cars themselves.
Right. So the worst day of the week, they're worth 50, 60,000. So the one that we were looking at had 332 kilometers on it. The guy had it for one weekend, was drinking and driving. He probably put one tank of fuel through it, wiped out, smoked a tree, and destroyed the entire car. Hit the carbon fiber tub. The car is toast. So there was that option, but we weren't. It wasn't going to happen. Even if we had $50,000 and full support of FAF to unlock the computer or get it as a standalone engine, somehow made it to a quattro transmission, to stuff it under the hood. It's a mid-engine car. It'd be too tall. It wasn't going to work. So we were always building a 4.8 LS L33, but it's going to be unique. And we're doing this because Hot Rod Magazine, they got 1,200 horse out of a 4.8, but we're going to put 2 compound turbos on it. So we have two RS Borg & Warner compounds, which I think is a 44 millimeter and a 67 millimeter turbo on it. I'm just starting to find the specs on it. Basically, we're just walking through a yard, and we found the turbos. We thought, hey, we're going to put this on the car. So Aaron goes, well, you're only putting one on. Why don't you put 2 on? So we're putting two separate compounds on each bank, and then boosting the snot out of this car. So if that works, we're going to put that on an iron block that we got out of a pickup. We built it. We put a cam in it. We did studs to it. Valve springs. We're going to bring it to the dyno, see what kind of numbers it puts out. I want high boost at low RPM, high torque, low RPM.
It is a cool looking setup.
It looks awesome. And then if that works, we're going to put it in a aluminum 5.3 block to save weight. And we are actually lighter than the original Audi engine that's in there. And we should be able to put 700-800 horse, no problem. The transmission is getting finished today.
Just such a happy thought.
Yeah, so the transmission is finished building today, is getting shipped to us on Monday from Advanced Automotion. It's Automotion, right? I keep thinking, keep wanting to say automotive, but it's Advanced Automotion. It's able to handle 800 foot-pounds of torque. So
that's a 6-speed manual.
6-speed manual, and the turbos are 2RS, and the 6-speed Audi transmission is RS2. So it gets complicated, but that one's checked on the dyno today. He's happy with it. He's sending it to us. The transmission only weighs 180 pounds, and the aluminum 4.8 should come in at about 415 pounds. The Audi transmission and the automatic and the 3.6 liter, we're actually taking it to the scrapyard tomorrow. I'm going to throw it in the back of the truck, and we're just going to weigh it at one of the scales and see what it comes in at. But I think from what I read online, the 3.6 weighs about 475 pounds. So we're 50 pounds lighter, at least. And we're also moving the rad, the intercooler, everything to the trunk. And so it's just going to be the engine in the front. So we should have a pretty sweet car.
You should talk about the seats.
And we did not get the McLaren engine, but we did get the McLaren seats. So, and they are comfortable. absolute
beautiful
100% like they are comfortable seats. So yeah, so if the opening intro of Sunday's video will be the McLaren symbol on the seat. It's pretty cool. So hopefully we get to work together on some other projects with the owner of the McLarens. We'll still work that out.
Yeah,
see what's happening there. But maybe you'll see us working on some excavators and then some supercars. Who knows? So
it's very, very possible at this point.
yeah. And that was all the little things that we were kind of laughing about behind. So
to answer your question, Benjamin, what size turbos? I think you said what size.
For the Audi, those
yeah.
two RSs actually came off of the V6 version of the Power Stroke that was in the International cab over trucks. So International made the Power Strokes for Ford, but they had their own little 6-cylinder version that were also garbage, and they were in the cab over truck. So we got a new one of those and 2 used ones. So if one blows up, we got a spare. So
really, we don't know.
We don't know. And trying to figure out, we don't know. So we'll put it on the dyno and then we'll see. But we can adjust when the first one opens and when it starts dumping out, when we have to set the wastegates and stuff. But it'll all be it'll all be experimental more or less. But we'll have some fun with that for sure.
98.65 TD. I think he's getting this truck there, and then it's puking out oil and died. Shop said it would cost $1,600 to fix.
Puking out oil from where? Out the exhaust, or just blowing the dipstick out, or what's it doing? It sounds like rebuild time.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Small project.
2001 F550 with a 12 valve ZF6 1952 F. That looks awesome. Can you put that one on Drive Tribe? Is that one on Drive Tribe? That looks really cool.
Not yet.
Okay.
Yeah, throw it up on the Drive Tribe.
Yeah.
How's the trans controller in the Tahoe?
Yeah, I've never had a problem with the transmission controller. It worked for the 4L80 and the 4L60, and you can rough tune it on the fly, so you can just push a couple buttons, tune the shift of when you want it to shift, how hard you want to shift, and then if you really want to fine tune it, you gotta plug in the laptop, and you're able to do that too. So I have nothing bad to say about the Bowman shift controller. It's been working very, very good. It's not hard to convert a 2-wheel drive to 4-wheel drive, but you need a donor truck. So basically all the little stuff is going to nickel and dime you to death, the pedals and linkages and whatever else. So brackets and yeah.
Oh, he's talking about the GTO here.
What about the GTO?
He commented that when we were talking about the GTO.
Oh.
Sorry, and restaurate, like flipping cars. To do.
Okay. Yeah. Thanks for that link to. Oh, you did that? The 4.8 link? I'm like, oh, that's nice of one of our viewers to link that article. Yeah.
Yeah, 180 pounds. Yeah. How much do you think you can get a running Audi Quattro for?
Free.
Run. I don't know. Call up Tuesday. We have 2 of them. We got a parts one in the yard too. So make an offer. It's missing the rear diff, the K-frame under front, the struts.
It's red.
Just some. Yeah, it's red.
Red.
A couple of the windows are smashed from rolling it on its side. Just small stuff.
Like 2,000, 3,000.
One of those things. It's
say,
whatever.
really.
It's.
We're in Canada too, so any price we give you.
Probably cheaper in Germany because there's probably a lot more in Germany. Here and they're not that desirable here. You don't really see that coming up much. But we went to go see Atomic Blonde, and the first car that picks up Charlize Theron from the airport is a 1990 Audi Quattro V8.
And then rolls 2 minutes
and
later.
then 2 minutes later, it's on its roof. And that was fantastic.
But talking about that, how long was your Audi sitting in the yard?
Year and a half.
Year and a half. So these cars, you can find them all over the place in an older wrecking yard, and chances are you could get it running again.
It had 400,600 kilometers on it, so I think
we have a running engine.
Yeah. Hey, yeah, we have.
You find one.
The only reason it stopped running was because it stopped charging and the battery died. So, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Older diesels and superchargers have an advantage over the turbochargers, mainly the semi-trucks. Early days feel like low in torque.
So the superchargers, you are turning a massive weight inside. It's the impeller, so there is a lot of loss on running a supercharger, whereas there's a lot less. What do you call that? I'm trying to think.
Lag? No lag.
No, there's no lag with a supercharger. Less lag than with a turbo, but there's a lot of. Starts with an S. Parasitic loss, because it takes a lot to turn the supercharger, so it depends on what engine it's actually going on, but I'm still a turbo guy. The supercharger's loud and annoying 100% of the time, and a turbo will quiet down nice.
You get that really nice
well, that's wastegate, but it's just the annoying of a supercharger all the time, whereas turbo, we really only hear it when you tromp on it, and it's just enough to keep it fun. So, yeah.
And what kind of maple syrup? I recommend you get a nice dark. Like
yeah, you gotta go with the dark. They really say it's
for cooking. So there's three kinds. There's a light, then there's a medium, which is pretty well.
It's a standard. Anywhere. It's your starter syrup.
It's also depending on this time of the year. So the earlier you get your syrup, the darker you can find it.
Yeah.
Towards the end of the season, it's like light. It's like nothing. So I recommend get in there early. Get a nice dark one. Get a big vat of it.
And that's the darker it is, the more things you can use it for.
Right.
Too.
That's what I was saying. Is
excellent
that
viscosity
use it for cooking.
Oh yeah.
But
throw that
on
works
your pancakes.
in gearboxes and transmissions.
Shaving, hair products, you name it. It is just the miracle fluid for everything.
Yeah, you put it on, then you leave it alone, and it works like a wax. It also works for
fixed seals.
Yep.
Everything.
Yeah.
Everything.
Squeaky doors.
Paint remover. It's great.
Yeah, that's DEBOSS recommendation there. We don't make it. We're getting honey though. We're getting honey. You're getting honey now.
I'm getting honey. I'm a farmer now. I'm a farmer. I have. Yeah, I can legitimately. I think I'm gonna bill them $7,500. Apply for my farm permit. Because to be classified as a farm, you need to bring in $7,500 a year. But I have 50 boxes of bees just around the corner now, so that's pretty cool. We walked up to them, and they're actually pretty cool watching. And they leave you alone as long as you're not nervous and they don't get stuck under your hat or something. Joel got stung in the head, but it got stuck under his hat. So, but yeah, I'm a farmer now. So
nice. Negatives of 2001 Dodge Ram 2500.
Not much really.
Isn't that the death wobble? No,
well,
yeah,
a little bit of death wobble on them, but for the most part, a little more electronics that will let you down. But I wouldn't. It's a great truck. I would still buy it. So, parasitic loss. See, I got there and just like spitting it out. It's just we can't read your comment until like 5 minutes later. So, hey, everybody's got
this Aunt Jemima nonsense.
No, Aunt Jemima. That's just swearing.
You can get kicked out of Canada for that.
Yeah, we don't. That no.
We'll deport your ass.
No.
2000 K 2500. 03 60 Power Stroke.
Huh. That's weird. But we did meet somebody.
People have done this.
Yeah?
Haven't they? I think.
What are they
it's
saying?
A
They're
rare,
putting a Ford body
you'll be
on
one
it.
of a few.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because most of the Ford guys, and I don't deny it, that the Ford trucks look great, probably better than a 03 Chevy.
Yeah.
So you're taking like a good body and you're taking your good body off, the last good thing of the Ford, and then putting a worser body on a terrible engine. I don't know. Put it on drive. The guy that we got the Audi from, actually, he is big into Power Stroke conversion. So we're gonna meet up with him at some point. But he actually has a Ranchero with a Power Stroke 6.0 in it,
Oh,
and
that's
it's
pretty cool.
It's his third or fourth conversion already too. So
With the 6.0?
with a 6.0 Power Stroke. So it's been done. So
They
what? Yeah,
exist.
well, once you bulletproof them, it's fine. It's just yeah, it's one of those things.
Yeah, never confuse those. Very important. Yeah, I seen he's doing some farming.
Oh yeah, he sold his tractor with his big V8 in it, and then he now he's gonna start farming. That's terrible.
The NDP.
It's cutting in here.
JM SAS.
SAS. What does SAS stand for? I'm tired.
I'm not sure.
Or clarify? What's the Suzuki Sidekick with an Audi 1.8 turbo? I would be up for that. But actually, what I really want to do is take Nancy's
The buggy?
Ecotech, yeah, and make a buggy, and then put one of those 2RS.
Solid axle swap.
Oh yeah. Okay, there we go. No, there's no solid axle swaps in the future. Not that I know of. Until somebody pays me for it. But right now, so that you might see me talk about that 3.3 Cummins way back. That's actually, the head is done, and the rotating assembly will be done next week. So we can actually start making some videos on that. So that's a 3.3 Cummins going in an Escalade with a 5-speed behind it.
Some big giant question marks around that.
Yeah, so that project doesn't seem to be going fast, but it's moving, I guess. So we really haven't even released any videos on it because people probably already have forgotten about it. So, yeah.
Suzuki Sidekick with an Audi 1.8.
Yeah, no, that's what I said. That's awesome. But I think we're going to blow up Nancy's engine, put one of those 2RS compound turbos on the 2.4 Ecotech, and build like a sand dune buggy that does wheelies down Lake Erie. Yeah. And can float.
Eurostar International with Cummins and pickup truck bed.
Yeah. Sure. Send it my way.
2006 with 110,000 miles. Recently acquired turbo from Mack dump truck. Understand that an S300 kit is available for it. Truck is in process of a single wheel.
So, 206.
2006.
I honestly don't know because I've never gotten into that before, so I don't know. Sorry, JW. Yeah.
Forged internals, mostly all Texas speed performance parts for an LS1 for $2,000. After taxes, what do you think about this price?
It's $2,000 American then.
Yeah, still worth it though. If you're gonna beat the living tar out of it, then we actually have a whole bunch of parts for a 6-liter that we're gonna be building and putting in a W140 Mercedes sedan. So we would have been working on that, but we pushed him back because of the Audi. So, but he'll eventually go to Forge too. I think he says he just wants to try it kind of stock as it is, just some studs and cam and springs and a turbo, and then build it afterwards. So yeah, I don't think it's a bad price.
Blow off valve.
Yeah, once you get into the high boost, you're gonna need a blow off valve. So that's not unheard of. Every one of the pull trucks has a multiple blow off valves actually. So
Engine swap in a truck. Late 90s Chevy 2000.
the 3126 it's loud and it's not that special. I would still go with a 12 valve just for easier. And do you know what the weight difference is between a 3126 and a 12 valve? Do you?
It's
It's for a Caterpillar, so I'm assuming it's a big difference.
Sounds heavy.
It is heavy. Yeah, so I put a 3126 in a Steiger that rolled over on its side. And that was way back with the service truck and the crane, and the oil all went on one pistons, and they hydrolocked it and bent some stuff, and so yeah.
Didn't know where it's puking out from. Said it died. Opened the hood and the engine bay was covered in oil. Shop said it would be 60.
So that's one of those things where it could be something really stupid.
Yeah, just like a blown line or something.
Yeah, and they just, you know what, I don't even want to bother, so tell them just enough of a price
Get
to
a
tell them
second
away.
price.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
would just say, go to another shop, get another price.
But it died and it won't run at all. I don't know.
What was the year? Would it go into limp mode if it's new enough? The computer and everything, throw it into limp mode?
What's that? No, it's too old for that. So yeah, I don't know. Performance grades on the 8.1. From briefly reading over it, they don't really like too much more than stock, honestly. Not too many guys build them because it is such a big engine that they don't handle boost and that very well. So I think the internals aren't nearly as strong as the smaller Vortex. So keep that in mind. Really look into that before you get into buying too much for it, because I don't think they like it. So.
Denmark. Go for a new car. Maybe Toyota. Any tips for Toyotas?
So you own a Toyota. This one's all you.
A Toyota car?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, what year of car are you looking from? The only Toyotas that...
If you're looking for a cool Toyota, I would say you're going probably for the Soarer with the 2JZ motor or the Supra Mark IV, and ideally you want to find one with a twin turbo on it or one that you can convert to a single turbo for the most power. A lot of fun going that way.
Yeah. So, but what kind of car? Are you like family car or like
maybe it's
just
Toyota
daily or
Hilux.
just front? Yeah. So the only experience I really have had with Toyota is the Helixes in Helix in Africa when I was working over there. So I love those, and someday I'm going to import one, sell a Silverado, and drive around a little Toyota Helix. Someday.
But can we shut down 6.7 high-speed Cummins after driving right away, or do you have to wait like 2 minutes? Some people say shut it down, some say wait.
I always say general rule, let it idle and let everything cool down, because if it's under load, you shut it down, the oil is actually so hot that it burns out in between the bearing races. So that's why you let it idle down, because it actually drops 500 degrees from under load to just idle. So it's quite a difference between and it's a startup that wrecks it the next time then.
I think we're going to just pause for a sec. We're going to head over to Drive Tribe. Just take a look at some of you guys' rides. We got a couple of new guys in here too. So, first one.
Yeah, that gutted Corvette is pretty
First
cool.
one here is this 85 Corvette.
The Dune Vet. Dun Vet?
Yeah. Z71 AK.
Should bring it to Duneville.
Threw away most of this shit. Added a spring to pull the throttle plate open and bent the linkage to achieve wide. Off-road lights. Wants to come, no body.
Some stickers.
They're actually off-roading it. That's awesome.
This is, there's some cool shots in here.
Oh, that's so cool.
Nice.
I would love it if you would post those pictures up on the Corvette Club of America. They would love this.
That's pretty awesome.
Way
Yeah.
cool.
What else we got? Just kidding. Albuquerque. Go easy on me. Now it's a Ford. Just 2003 Terminator Cobra I bought 2 years ago. 400 horsepower from the factory, but wanted a little more. Searched around, found 2.2 Keen Bell Twin. I don't know how to say it.
Nice.
Screw supercharger on Craigslist. It's pretty nice. Finally got everything installed and dynoed. 575.
Nice.
This has some videos, so I'm going to. I realized last time we did not have. If you can hear me now.
Right on.
I think you can still hear me. Let me know if you can't hear me. I think you can. But you should be able to hear this.
Nice. Can the audience hear it?
Yeah.
Okay.
So there's some more shots there.
Right on. Very cool. Government, different auction sites. I actually like Iron Planet, Ritchie Brothers, Government Surplus. Once in a while you find a pretty sweet deal on an older service truck, maybe 10 years old, that's already got all the toolboxes on it and maybe like a small crane, 8-foot crane, just for lifting cylinder heads or whatever else on and off, and might already be set up for clearance lights and welder, having cables and that run. So I wouldn't go with I wouldn't jump out and buy a pickup if that's what you're thinking. If you're taking the apprenticeship really serious and whatever, I think the truck will hold its value. If it doesn't work out, you can sell it again just like that. But there's some pretty stellar deals to be had on already set up service trucks. So just a 1 ton or a little bigger truck, you won't regret it, other than you won't be able to ride that around with your girlfriend on a weekend without kind of looking like a tool. So I bought the service truck. I bought the 1991 service truck in 2009, so it was 18 years old, but it came out of Arizona. It still had the paint on the leaf springs just cracked from flexing. I paid $7,200 for it. Drove it all the way from California back to Dunville, 4,400 kilometers, not knowing anything about the truck. But coming off a fleet, it was maintained meticulously, and it went dirt cheap because they said the crane was broken. But really, the guy that did the inspection on the auction site didn't know to pull a valve to switch to divert the flow from the stabilizers to the crane. So once in a while, you get one of those stellar deals, and I used it for. I sold it 2 years ago. 3 years ago?
The crane?
Yeah.
Oh.
No, the truck. I sold that 2 years ago, and back then the dollar was better, so $7,200 ended up being like $8,000 Canadian. I paid it. I painted it. I put a welder on it. I think I sold it for $24,000. So, just yeah.
Heavy equipment, guys.
Yep.
Hi from Kansas, center of the country. Hey,
Nice.
how's it going? It's not a Hilux.
Hilux.
Toyota.
Helix.
I know you guys mainly do diesels. What do you think of the Monte Carlo with 170,000 miles on it?
I'm gonna let you take this one.
That's a good steal. It's a fair price for that. The Monte Carlos, that generation, they were good cars, and they ran pretty good. I knew a few friends that had them, and they never had any complaints with it.
But it is just the Malibu minus 2 doors, right?
Yeah, but it's minus 2 doors. I don't know. What's the one thing? Always make sure it's not a Friday car.
Yeah.
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 We got a 98 Jeep TJ, board stroke balanced 4.6 M96.
Take this before
Yeah.
I break it.
Ford 8.8 rear axle, 456 gears SYE, rear discs,
Nice.
lunchbox, lockers. Yeah, lots of things.
Right on.
Here. Look at this.
Jeep the way it should be.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Nice.
So in Africa, it's pretty cool. We go to Church of the Meeting House in Hamilton, and one of the guys went up to the presentation. He said, "Hey, we need some help building a mechanic shop in Burkina Faso, Africa," and that was really my calling, building, because I was in construction and mechanic. I'm like, well, I'm going to build a shop. Awesome. So we went down there. Awesome story. Pastor adopted a couple kids and started a school in 2002. Now it is, so that was, he ended up with 28 kids his first semester, and now he's got close to 500 on a compound. He's starting a secondary school, so a high school, and he's actually working on the largest university now in in Africa, all of Africa.
Alright.
So we went down there, volunteered there I went twice for 2 weeks at a time, once with my wife and once solo, and then taught mechanics there. So I'm not there for fixing stuff for him and doing stuff for him. I'm going there to teach. So we had a classroom there, chalkboard. We talked. We a lot of picture drawing. I had a translator there. We talked about how to fix stuff, how to diagnose stuff, basics. They had a shop there. I taught them how to use the tools, tire machine, even scanners and everything. And the pastor who started it, his son is the head mechanic there now. So I actually got Facebook because of him, talking back and forth to him. I don't know if you guys heard about the terrorist attack that happened in Burkina. So it's scary
Recently.
times right now. Yeah, last week, 18 people dead. So Burkina is close to my heart and my wife's heart. So the school is called the Village of Hope, and the plan was always to go back once we have some money and YouTube becomes self-sustaining. If we get some sponsors, whatever, we'd love to take you guys there and not go just to the school. The last time we went, we met one of the mechanics in town. Awesome guy. Had a bunch of beer with him in the middle of nowhere. And we'd love to do that. Just kind of see how mechanic shops are done over there. The people are incredible. They're super happy working with nothing. They're just like, everything gets used again. Really cool. So, but yeah, that's what I did in Burkina.
We got it. Well, the van is back.
Oh yeah.
Greg's van. Just about ready to go to the DMV, get her inspected. TV installed, dash finished. 2016 F-150 front diffuser, 2006. 330.
Someone broke your grill. That sucks. I bet you it's Gary. Freaking guy.
Now,
Yeah.
I
We can
think this
follow
is
this one.
the
This is
coolest
great.
van, but when you get this on the road, don't go by schools much. Don't drive it around schools.
I just scrapped that exact van from Mike.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Jeez, look at the size of the intercooler on that.
Yeah, look at the size of that doghouse. That's awesome. That is going to be really sick when it's done.
Yeah.
Very
He's
cool.
making some progress.
Yeah, much respect.
Yeah, that's sick. There's a lot of photos here. I know
Yeah.
Jeez.
that TV screen.
Insulation?
Yeah, he's building.
That's cool. Right on.
Oh, nice. That's cool. Sweet. That's where he's at.
Really cool.
Love that.
So truck is rusted out. Yeah, I'm going to the next. Sorry. Yeah, you can do that. I'm answering questions while we're flipping through too.
Oh, sorry. Which question? Are you going?
Yeah, that one. I think it's a perfect candidate for Cummins.
Yeah, I wouldn't swap a rust-free truck to go to a rusted-out one.
No.
No
You
matter.
know what? Scrap the 6.5 in there. Take their advice. $1,600. You can. It's going to cost you a little bit more for a Cummins, but that would be if the truck is in good shape, then do a Cummins.
97 Cummins.
Nice. The right lighting in the sunset, perfect angle, wheel turn the right way, nice shot.
Oh, did he say something like that? 96, 12 valve, 440,000 miles. It's good. I'll let that in.
Nice.
Sweet.
Right on. It's Gary's old truck, except blue.
Ever since Twister.
Yep. Very cool. Needs to gotta jack it up just a little bit. A little bigger tires and it's perfect. And it starts riding like shit.
Last one here. Old pics, but here's my 93 Suzuki.
Oh,
Sidekick.
nice. With an Audi.
Audi
That's
180.
awesome. Right on.
This is lovely. This thing.
That is cool.
That is sick. That might have to be the thumbnail next week.
Yeah.
That is awesome. Look at that.
That's pretty cool.
Nice. I think that's it. Sweet. Alright, Canada, Mexico.
Canada to Mexico.
They're saying we should do a road trip. Plenty of extra rooms and tools for halfway.
Stop. Nice.
Got a Mighty Car Mods My Crap Car video on my YouTube channel.
Okay.
Nice. Thanks for the advice. Still in the class 5. Job placement at 3.
Okay. That's the service truck guy? I forget.
It's the registered guy.
Yeah. 86 Parisian.
Still on the road. That's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how you ever fit that into a parking space anywhere.
Yeah. What time are we at?
So we're caught up. We're all caught up with comments.
Yes.
Right on.
So Audi video is coming up on Sunday.
And we forgot to mention that 2Bennett.com is building our suspension for us too. So it's getting dropped. I think it's adjustable. I'm not exactly sure, but I think it's between 3.5 and an 1.5 inch. 1.5 and 3.5 inches, and anywhere in between, with coilovers on all 4 corners. So
Everything's just coming together really fast.
well, nothing. Like I haven't really done a whole lot to it. It's just
No, all
like
the
everybody
parts
else
are
is
coming.
doing a lot of stuff. Yeah, you build the transmission, you build the suspension, you build the engine, you give us some
Well,
seats,
that's how you
and then
roll.
we put
you
it in
micromanage.
there. Yeah, that's right. So yeah, so far so good.
I'm curious to see what a top speed on that car will be by the time it comes.
Yeah, so we do have access to the Dunnville Airport. So I worked for Canada's Worst Driver and did I told that last time, right?
I don't think we've said anything yet.
Oh, okay. Well, anyway, this TV show that I worked for was for Canada's Worst Driver, which they put just poor drivers in really fast cars and then punish them for wrecking the cars. But anyway, they filmed that at the Dunnville Airport, and they're helping us. They're setting us up with use of that track. So there is a landing strip in like the Dunnville Airport and a road course.
Yeah.
So we should be able to get a top speed of the Audi. And then once it's done and it's tuned properly and set up properly, the guy with the McLarens, we're going to race him. So we'll see what a $400,000 car does towards our Audi. And we could just get laughed out of our, like, that's perfectly
These turbos
fine.
might not work.
Yeah, those turbos could fail miserably. The car could fall apart. I don't know. Right now, actually, the entire undercarriage has been sandblasted. I'm picking that up in the morning, so that's exciting. Then we're gonna, and the main reason for sandblasting it all was to make sure that it was in good shape, that it wasn't rotten or had water sitting in it, rotting from the inside out. If there's holes in it, I want to find it.
If you're going to run 800 horsepower, you don't want to take a chance.
Right. So the entire undercarriage that gets bolted to the unibody has been taken off, sandblasted. We'll paint it. We're going to make our own bushings out of polyurethane because there really is nothing out there for it, which is going to take some time. But I think that'll be a really cool video too, making our own bushings. So once that's all done and the engine and the transmission are sitting in there, the weight properly, we'll send it out to the alignment shop, kind of get it set up as like a starter thing, whatever, and then start beating on it.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
So we're aiming for September, October.
Yeah.
To finish this thing, because we need to get it on a track. We need to tune this thing.
Yeah.
I think it'd be cool to have it for the season finale of the Sport Compact series.
Right. So when is that date? Because Toronto
it's on our website.
Yeah. So Toronto Motorsports Park is an awesome sponsor, and they're super nice guys, but they're very bad at replying to emails. So we're just gonna show up at CSCS and park a couple of our cars there, and then
you can find everything. You go to the DEBOSS Garage. I'll throw the link up. DEBOSS Garage/events. Everything's right there. CSCS.
Yep.
There's a link there. You
Yep.
can sign up if you want to race your car. Or you can do anything you want.
Yep.
Yeah, it's drifting, road course, drag racing. They have everything there that day.
Yeah, so the Audi will more than likely have most of the guts put in it, but not likely moving or racing or anything. But the Mercedes should be there. So.
And it's mostly an import day, but you can come with anything. Everybody gets respect there, and it's kind of funny if people bring in a big V8 because it just doesn't fit in. It's louder than everyone else, and it turns heads, and it's kind of fun.
Yep. Yeah, everything except the diesel trucks. There's really nothing for
No diesel trucks.
No, don't bother bringing your.
I think we're just about done. If you guys have questions, last minute questions, fire away. We're just gonna answer what's left here.
Yep.
Starting with, what advice do you have? Anyone wants to meet people that they admire, like
Dirty Rich.
Dirty Rich.
Don't call dirty. That sounds like
He does
You're
not have
dirty.
a mustache.
You're dirty.
No mustache.
It's filthy
Well, maybe
because
that's
I'm
someone
dirty.
else, I don't know.
Look. This is
Guys-
me.
guys
I
wanna
showered today.
We met the guys. You met Richard Rawlings.
I met Richard Rawlings, and he. If you really want to talk to Richard Rawlings, just wear a low cut V-neck and have big boobs. He didn't really have the time for us, but yeah. So yeah,
But you met the Roadkill guys.
The
You
Roadkill
said they were
guys,
really nice guys.
100%.
guys.
Every one of them. Lucky Costa was awesome.
Freiberger.
There was a couple of the guys from the magazine that were talking to us in line. Just like super cool guys, and David Freiberger and Mike Finnegan, awesome guys. We've tweeted with Mike a bunch, so they know who we are now. And I really wish we could have went to Roadkill Nights again, because I'd be curious to know exactly how much they know about us, and we're still small. 50,000 is still small, but they definitely know who we are, which is really cool. So. Even last year already, Finnegan knew me as the tape boss guy right away. I sent him a couple, so he used them and tweeted them about when he was building his shop.
That would be advice, I think, is send them something. Send them stuff so that when you show up, they know they have a point of reference. They know who you are because you've done something.
So we asked earlier if anybody knew the Ashes to Ashes or the...
Life on Mars. If anyone's watched Life on Mars.
But anyway, that's Philip
Glenister?
Glenister, that's
our actor.
Yeah. So he had a show, and it was all about an Audi Quattro, and it was like super corny. It was like Knight Rider, except everything was about the car. So he's like, it's time to fire up the Quattro, and he hits bad guys with the car. It's like, you've just been Quattroed. It was terrible. But what we want to do is we're gonna get a life-size cardboard cutout of him, but we kind of want him to approve of it too. So once how about okay, here's what we do. We take next month's Patreon and buy Glanister a care package. He's a huge Arsenal soccer fan, football fan.
Yeah.
Send him a care package so that he knows who we are, so we can use his cutout and make some really funny videos with Glanister beside. Because check out some of the videos on YouTube. So yeah.
Work for the city.
My grandma also drives. Oh, my grandma also drives my Parisienne. No. Nice.
ISB 67. Just brand new and no load. Just pick up truck bed. Go to grocery day. Still needs to idle. People say don't idle because it's brand new. I'd show you pics, but don't know. Okay.
Still needs to idle. For like startup and cooling down, I think that's still important that you give it a little chance to come back to a normal operating temperature. Like I don't think you're putting it under a giant load like you're tromping on it. Basically the idea is when you're putting a diesel under load, then the turbo is extremely hot. You've got high EGTs, and when you shut that off, if you stall something because it was under load, and I'm thinking back to heavy equipment, you run an excavator and you stall it, you run a tractor and you hit whatever and it stalls the tractor out, you need to fire it up as soon as possible because the oil that's in that turbo cooks and disappears instantly. So next time you fire it up, there's no lubrication there until the oil starts flowing again, and that's when you do your most damage. So in a smaller degree with a highway truck or just a pickup truck driving from point A to point B, you don't have that massive load on there, but you still want to bring those EGTs back down to a normal temp, just so that you don't burn your oil in the small clearances in your crank, in your cam, and in your turbo. So that's all I can say.
Good manual transmission for a 12 valve, no hauling.
Yeah, so not much hauling in NV4500, hands down. That's what I got in the Silverado. I love it. The NV5600 just splits the gears, which is really annoying if you're not pulling. So find a NV4500, much better than the Getrag, and they're behind the GMs and the Dodges or the Cummins, so they're easily available. They're pricey enough, but 100% NV4500.
AMG, can't wait. Love the content, guys.
Nice, thanks. Yeah, it's coming. We're working on it, but I am actually going on holidays for a bit, so it's gonna be a little bit yet. We got some videos on the in the bank.
Quattro Sunday.
Quattro Sunday. I'm actually really looking forward to this Sunday because it's awesome because I don't know what he's editing, so I don't know how he puts it together, and it's been such a long time. We've got a lot of video that
it'll be a big jam-packed episode. At least
is it gonna be
minutes.
20 minutes? Right.
Maybe longer.
Yeah. I'm not in Fantasyland. That's awesome because when I tell people I'm putting 4 turbos behind a LS that's mated to a Quattro with a Duramax intercooler and rad and
McCloudy.
Dodge something. Oh, we got Brembo brakes from an SRT8. We really have all the brands into this Audi, and supposedly I'm not
intercooler.
Yeah. So supposedly I'm not in Fantasyland. That's awesome. It's the only thing original is the shell of the car. Yeah, and that's it. But the transmission's Audi. Yeah. But yeah.
6.2 versus 6.5 injectors. Difference?
Yes, there is a difference on. I'm pretty sure, but I need to talk to my injection pump rebuilder is the town 6265 guy. Everybody goes to him. So yeah.
Because you can't rebuild those, right?
You can rebuild them. You can put bigger tips in it if you want. You can get a little bit more power out of them. Yeah. And you can take the tips from a Marine one out of a 6.5 and put it into a normal pickup, and you get another like 30, 40 horse. They're bigger injectors, so yeah.
Buy a Prelude.
Funny, we just came from looking at a Prelude with a Japanese swapped VTEC.
That is unbelievable.
Someone's following us.
Yeah, is that Neil?
Weird.
Neil, is that you? It's funny because
Wait, your profile says don't buy Prelude, and then you say buy a Prelude. I don't know. Mixed messages.
That's funny because we drove. So I worked on Stefan's brother's '94 Toyota Celica convertible, and I told him it was the engine computer that was broken. He got me another one. It still didn't run. So then we tried a bunch of other stuff, and then ended up it was the computer because he got a shitty one. So we drove the convertible here because what's more awesome than 2 6'3" guys driving a Celica convertible?
Yeah, our heads are sticking there completely over the top of the windshield the whole time.
These guys are my tall friends.
Yeah. So then we went to.
How tall are you?
We went to another friend's. I don't know, 190 centimeters. Ha!
There you go.
Yeah. The Americans are gonna hate me. What's a centimeter? It's close to a kilometer. Anyway, we stopped at a buddy's place, and he's like, check out my 2 cars. I got a Beamer that I'm just going to throw a turbo on and beat up the track, I think. What was the Beamer? 328i?
320i, I think it was. 6-cylinder 320i.
Yeah, yeah. And he had his daughter's Prelude there. He's like, and there's this car. So, that is hilarious. Anyway.
Yeah, alright, guys. We will, I don't know if there's anything else.
Yeah, rebuild your own turbo. It's not hard. Watch videos on YouTube. I've paid to have mine done, and then I realized, man, I'm an idiot. I should have just rebuilt that. So it's not rocket science, and they'll charge you like $600 to do $100 worth of work. So yeah,
I don't know when we'll make that video.
Yeah, at some point. We I think I go over the compound turbo, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, in the video,
okay.
Compound Turbo 101. So,
Right.
Yeah.
You guys will learn about compound turbos on Sunday.
Yeah. All right. See you guys. Thanks for watching.
See you guys.